All right, now.
Classified genius.
Speaking about a young Mr. Wade, this is the problem that I discovered when I was 10 years old, as a matter of fact. And I said, I want to solve it, and I solved it. I'm going to share it with you guys now. All right, it's actually a fun problem. It's very cool. Okay, yes, I'm a math geek. Okay, at some point in my life, the square of my age was the same as the year. So if you square your age, it was exactly the year at that same time. Augustus de Morgan, 1864. Augustus de Morgan is the British mathematician who first discovered hyperbolas. Exactly. He's like, oh, they do exist after all. How about that?
He was actually an English person.
All right. Now, let's go ahead and do a little experiment. Let's do what Mr. Wade did when he discovered this problem. I was like, I want to solve it and figure out what year was this guy born. It's like a math riddle. Okay? You'll probably see it in college. Okay? When was this guy born? Okay. Well, what I did was I just made a big long list. Matter of fact, I made lots of lists, as you can see. If you turn the camera around. Okay. All right? Too many lists. Okay. Now, let's pick an age and a year. Pick a number, and then let's do a perfect square out of it. Okay? So, what's a number and its perfect square?
2 and 4.
Okay, let's do an easy one. 2 and 4. All right? So, if you were 2 in the year 4 AD, then your age was exactly the square root of the year. Okay? And there are very rare birth years that this happens for, though. Very rare. Okay, we'll find that out. All right, let's pick another one.
5 and 25.
All right, 5 and 25, sure. Okay, if you turned 5 in 25 AD, then your age was the square root of the year, right? Okay, you had one of those rare birth years. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit because we're trying to get closer to Mr. De Morgan. 42 squared, and I will let you on your homework. I'm going to have you calculate this. Just the bottom part, though, just the easy part. You can use a calculator for this because you get big numbers. So you actually can pull it out of retirement, dust it off a little bit. And if you were 42 in the year 42 squared, which is 1764, then you have one of those magic birth years. Okay? Augustus de Morgan had one of those magic birth years. All right. I don't think he was 42 in 1764, though, was he? Okay. 43 squared is 1849. All right. Magic. Okay. If you were 44 in 1936, okay, you were one of those special. Okay, now we're getting to the recent one. If you turn 45 in the year 2025, you would have one of those magic birth years.
Not me. Nobody in here.
Maybe you know somebody. And then if you turn 46 in the year 2116, you would have one of those special birth years. All right? Okay, so young Pete Wade pulled out his calculator, started taking all these numbers in, right? And generating this list. Then I had to think, okay, wait, if you're 42 in 1764, or if you're 5 in 25, when were you born? What's the birth year? How would you figure out the birth year if you were 2 and 4 AD? Could you just do 4 minus 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you were born in 2 AD. Okay. And that means that in the year 4 AD, if you turn 2 years old in 4 AD, didn't you go from 1 to 2 during that year? Okay. And we'll note that, and we'll come back to that later. So you went from 1 to 2. Okay, if you turn 5 in 25 AD, when were you born? Okay, subtract, so if you were born in 20 AD, which means if you turn 5 in the year 25, that means you went from 4 to 5. Okay. All right, now fast forward. 1764 minus 42 is 17 what?
22.
1722, in which you would have turned
41.
from 41 to 42 years old. Okay? One of those magic years. Was Mr. De Morgan born in 1722?
No.
Only if you made the quote at 142 years old.
Makes sense.
Okay, probably not back then. Matter of fact, never. Not even now. All right, take away the 43 from 1849, and we will get what? 1806. Okay, which means you went from 42 to 43. Could he have been born in 1806?
Yes.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's a possibility. Let's check the next one. 1936, take away 44, that blasted bell. I love that bell so much. Just bleep that out. You can edit it. You're not going to edit it.
If you bleep it out,
Oh yeah, that sounds worse. Yeah. Don't bleep it out. What did Mr. Wade say? All right. What is born 18 what? 1892, which means you went from,
43.
okay, could he have been born in 1892?
No.
Let's see, he would be negative something years old, that's impossible. Okay, so he must have been born in 1806, although there's another year possible. Okay, be thinking about it, all right? 2025 minus 45 is, 1980 is the last time it happened. When you could be born and then be the square root of the year later on. Last time it ever happened. And it's going to happen for them in 2025, as a matter of fact. Okay?
Were you born in 1980?
Unfortunately not. I didn't get one of those lucky birthdays. I was born in 1970. But we'll discuss that later because we have to, well, the cat's out of the bag anyway. All right. Now, 2116 minus 46 is a grand total of, what is that? 2070? Yeah. Where you go from 45 to 46. Okay. So these are very rare birth years where this happens. And Augustus de Morgan happened to have one of them. He was 1806. If you want to put that at the top, it's 1806, but there is another possibility. Okay? Inside the mind of 10-year-old Pete Wade, what is he thinking? He's like, wait a minute, I think there's something else. There's another way to be 43 in the year 1849.
Is it a leap year?
No, it's
No.
not. Because those are only multiples of 4.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Instead of going from 42 to 43, what if you were 43 when the year started and you went to 44? Would you be 43 in that year?
Yes.
Oh, how about that? So you could go from 43 to 44, and you would be 43 in the year 1849. You don't have to turn 43. You could start at 43 and go to 44. Which means you are 1 year older than these people, so if you're 1 year older, you were born when? 1805. And each one of these is not a single year. Each one of these is a pair of years where it can happen. So they're all pairs. All right? This one here is not just 1722. What if I started the year at 42 in 1764 and I went to 43? I was 42 in the year. So that means 1721 is acceptable. 1806, got that one. 1892, and also, what else is acceptable? 1891, also. 1980 and 1979, and then 2070 and, so the next time it's going to happen is 2069. All babies born that year will happen again. Okay, fascinating stuff. All right. What's the 10-year-old people? Okay. All right, maybe not to you. Okay. Anyways, it's kind of interesting. Okay, so here's the deal. Mr. Wade was born between 1892 and 1980. Okay, squeeze Wade in there. All right. Everybody in the room, other than me, was born between 1980 and 2070. So all those people would fit between here. Let's put down you. Or you put down me, in your case. All right? So that's where it fits in. Now, for the rest of us unlucky saps who don't have these magic birth years, all right, we still will have a moment in life where our age is the square root of the year. All we have to do is figure it out. And for everybody, it happens one time in your lifetime, and that's it. Okay?
What if it's already happened?
Well, it won't. It won't, because look at this. If I was born here, guess what? I have to be 44 point something when it happens. Okay? And you guys will be 45 point something when it happens. So it won't be exact, but it'll be a decimal, and we can figure it out. All right? We're going to figure that out at the bottom, and on your homework, you're going to figure it out what your square root moment is. Okay? Birthday. Who cares about birthdays? They happen all the time. Once in a lifetime. Isn't that awesome? Huh? Okay, so let's do this. Okay. All right, let me show you how I calculated mine. Okay. Anyway, all right, let me show you how I calculated mine, and then on your homework, you're going to try to calculate yours and figure out what it is. And I can give you this homework back and keep it forever.